Alright, so what's up everyone? Now welcome back to the channel. Now as promised from yesterday's video, we're going to be looking at all of the changes and additions to Call of Duty Vanguard from in between now, from the beta to launch essentially. So if you guys aren't aware, yesterday we got an absolute ton of information related to Vanguard and Warzone. Everything from the Vanguard integration to the new Warzone map, all the changes from the beta, what kind of things we can expect on the Vanguard launch in Season 1. It was an absolutely hectic day, and unfortunately I couldn't cover it on the day, so today I'm covering everything for Vanguard. Now, if you want to see everything for Call of Duty Warzone, I'm going to be doing a separate video on that either tomorrow or the day after. I'm not too sure which one, but I'll definitely make a separate video for Warzone. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel and, yeah, await that video, I guess. But today we're going to be talking about strictly Vanguard. Now, there is a lot to talk about with today's video, and we're going to actually go ahead and start off with the changes and additions, I suppose, to the Vanguard, to the game, I suppose. This is everything that the Sledgehammer, have altered from the beta from our feedback directly, and honestly a lot of it sounds like it sounds like they've changed a lot of stuff that people are giving feedback on. So the first thing is visibility. There's just visibility improvements across the board, things like, you know, muzzle flash and the weather effects on your face and lens flare from the sun, all of that kind of stuff. That has been changed and fixed. Audio has had a complete overhaul. If you guys played the beta, you'll know that audio was all over the place, to be kind about it. It sounds like they've gone ahead and fixed all that. Operator quips are a lot less frequent, and the announcer as well isn't as frequent as well, which is nice. They've also ironed out some of the spawns. Obviously on the launch the spawns aren't going to be great, mainly I would say for patrol and the new maps that we haven't played, because the way the spawns work, if you guys aren't aware, they need to actually gather data to be able to balance those maps properly. They can't They don't have the workforce like QA testers to actually be able to balance spawns properly. Like, I don't think any game studio does. It's just so much better to have game data from, you know, the community. Millions of people playing the game. So yeah, the spawns are going to be a bit buggy on launch, I would suspect, especially with Shipment, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But the next thing it talks about is movement as well, suppression, sorts of things that slow down your movement. Sprint out times, they have altered across the board once again. Weapons have also been altered as well. Shotguns have been buffed across the board. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Shotguns, SMGs, and pistols range have been reduced, so you know, it's more assault rifles that perform at range. Hip fire, trade-offs, you know, different statistics in the gunsmith, and all of this other stuff has been changed for the weapons as well. The final two things are the kill streaks and field upgrades. So they've altered spy planes, counter spy planes. They've altered the health on the field upgrades. The glide bomb is easier to control. The death machine and war machine score have been swapped around. And finally, the perks. Well, I suppose the perk, actually. They added Ninja to the game, which is just incredible to see. All the complaints from Modern Warfare 2019 about dead science not being a perk, that was fixed in Cold War, and obviously it was reverted in Vanguard's beta. And Sledgehammer have gone ahead and added that perk to the game, which is why I think Sledgehammer is really good. Honestly, I do think they are a really good development studio, and it's mainly because they listen to the fans and taking their feedback properly. But anyway, that's everything that was changed from the Call of Duty Vanguard beta. Now we're going to be talking about the actual content. So not things that were changed or altered. The actual content that we can expect from the launch of Vanguard all the way up to Season 1 and actually onwards. So preload for console starts now, so we've already had this. If you guys didn't know, you can preload the game if you've pre-ordered it digitally. November 5th is obviously the launch of the game. Everyone knows that, I'm assuming. And November 5th to December 2nd is going to be the pre-season for Vanguard, and we can expect to see a good amount of stuff in this pre-season. November 17th is going to be Shipment. That's going to be coming out November 17th, so we have about 2 weeks or so of no shipments to just sort of get used to the other maps, which I actually do like, because I will be honest, if Shipment was there from the launch, I probably wouldn't play anything else until I got Damascus or whatever it is. This actually gives me an opportunity to experience all the other maps, what they are, and then lose my soul to Shipment, which is great in my opinion. November 18th is Operation Flashback for Warzone. Obviously, we're going to be losing Verdansk with the integration, so this is just going to be sort of like a nostalgic playlist, I'd imagine. November 24th, we're going to have some intel on the new Pacific map. And November 30th to December 1st, we're going to have some kind of Warzone event of the last hours of Verdansk. They talk about bombs away and an explosive event and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're going to nuke Verdansk again. That'd be really weird for the timeline, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to have some cool live events, or I suppose Call of Duty version live events, November 30th and December 1st. Then December 2nd is going to be the launch of Season 1. So we're going to get multiplayer maps, weapons, all the standard stuff for Season 1. One thing that's actually interesting about this is you can have 24 hours of exclusive early access for the Pacific map in Warzone, which is really interesting that they do that. Also, Ricochet is going to be coming out as well, obviously. They're actually going to be rolling that out from the launch of Vanguard, but it's going to be sort of more background implementation. And then I think Season 1 is the full implementation of the anti-cheat. So they talk a little bit in the blog post here about campaign and zombies, what we can expect to see from that. I'm pretty sure it's all old news, so we all know about that already. And the multiplayer, the main thing they talk about here is the modes. So we have free-for-all, TDM, kill confirm, domination, S&D, hardpoint, and patrol. And obviously they are core and hardcore as well, which is great. So blitz, tactical, and all that aren't replacing core and hardcore. I think there was some confusion about that a few months ago. They also revealed all of the multiplayer maps of Vanguard. I think they released just one image each and a brief description, which is great. But I'm not going to go through that in today's video just because there's no point really. I suppose I'm just gonna wait for the game to come out. They also talk about Champion Hill and the combat pacing and hardcore and all the stuff that we do know. We have 12 playable operators at launch, which isn't really a big deal, to be honest. One thing that's actually caught my eye as well is they actually talk about the customization of the operators. So the first thing is the skin, which that's just standard. They have an enhanced quip system, which sounds actually quite interesting. Basically, with quips before, it would only play if you got a finishing move, but it sounds like now they're actually changing that, where it could be things such as getting a kill or capturing an objective. You can actually choose to have a certain, I suppose, set of quips, which is quite cool that we do have that in-depth sort of customization, but at the same time, I don't see myself using this, so I'll just leave it as it is, to be honest, unless it's some like really funny ones. They also talk about your finishing move, your infiltration pose, and the MVP pose, a display of flash and force, so only way you need to... So basically, the infiltration pose, I think, will be the sort of like cinematic of the start of the match. You can sort of choose to change how you enter the map, I would imagine. And the MVP pose, sounds like the whips and nays are coming back from Black Ops 3. You'd love to see it. There's going to be 38 weapons on the launch of Call of Duty Vanguard, and they also talk about a revamped gunsmith system. So it sounds like they've actually made a lot of changes to the way the gunsmith works in Vanguard. I guess we'll have to wait and see what they have done exactly to alter this gunsmith. I wonder if they'll tailor it more to be similar to Modern Warfare's or what. We don't really know exactly, but anyway, we have 7 assault rifles, 6 SMGs, 4 shotguns, 4 LMGs, 3 marksman rifles, 3 sniper rifles, 5 handguns, 4 launchers, and 2 melee weapons. So overall, that is 38 weapons, and honestly, in terms of mastery, this all sounds pretty decent. The main thing that scares me is the launchers. I can't lie. 4 launchers is a lot. That's similar to Modern Warfare's. So I'm hoping that the challenges aren't as bad as Modern Warfare. This year I'm just going to go ahead and do the cancerous stuff as soon as possible. And that'll be melee weapons and launchers, I'd imagine. One of the most exciting pieces of information for me, someone who's a completionist, is the return of the hero gear from Black Ops 3. So if you guys didn't know, in Black Ops 3, if you're a specialist, you can do certain challenges to get gold gear for your operator. I keep saying operator, you're a specialist, and this sort of system is returning in Vanguard. We don't know how exactly, but they do talk about how you can basically master your operator and unlock gold outfits, and they even have this like black and silver one, which I'm going to show on screen here. I assume these are all the different tiers to operator customization, like in terms of earning it instead of buying it. So I'd imagine the far right one is the best tier of, if you have that, you're the top dog of that operator, basically. So in terms of the progression system for Vanguard, it sounds like it's going to be the exact same as Cold War. So 55 ranks to start off with, and then the seasonal prestige, which is going to be returning. Honestly, I'm not too fussed about this. I just hope there are improvements, like I did talk about. I think I've talked about it here on the channel, but I'm hoping that they have actually changed some of the stuff with the prestige system, just make it more rewarding. Weapon progression, obviously, standard weapon XP. They talk about, however, with weapon progression, how there are 2 different mastery camos, the same as Cold War. So there's going to be a zombies one and a multiplayer one, which also can be locked in Warzone. Now, what's interesting about the zombies one is they actually got leaked the other day, and it's a red ether. So if you guys know dark ether from Black Ops Cold War, it's the original dark matter from Black Ops 3. And what they've done is they've changed the purple to red, which I can only imagine looks phenomenal. That sounds really cool in my opinion, and I can't wait to see that. Obviously as well, there is this brand new operator XP system as well, so you can level up your operators, which I would say is the main driving force as to why there aren't factions in this game. In which case, it actually does make a lot of sense, I can't lie. Obviously, in Cold War and Modern Warfare, it wouldn't make sense to remove the faction system. But if you actually have operator progression in this game, having factions would just be so dumb, because you have no control of what faction you're under. Therefore, you can't control what operator you're leveling up, and it just all becomes annoying, I would say. So I think this is good. They also mentioned as well that if you use a certain operator's favorite weapon, quote unquote, you can earn a bonus weapon and operator XP, which is just another way to unlock XP. I would say this is very good. Now, talking about the preseason and season 1 of Vanguard, the main thing, to be honest, that we haven't talked about is, in depth anyway, is Shipment. They are bringing back Shipment, and not only that, it looks like the original design. I think there are some things different. Like if I just zoom in here, I can't tell if, I think that is a container there. So it's kind of weird because obviously there'd be sort of like a plus system which is just open in between the containers in the center. But this looks like it actually has a container in it. So I'm not sure if this is a slightly altered version. Maybe this is Vanguard's own version of Shipment like Modern Warfare did, or what's going on exactly. But I don't care. Shipment's here. Progression is just going to be amazing in this. And they say this is going to be November 17th, so that's great. Now, the next part of the blog post is talking exclusively about Warzone, so I'm going to be covering that in my Warzone video, as I did mention before. But they are also talking about Season 1 here as well. Not really too much to sort of note down here, I'd say. It's just the typical stuff for a season. The main thing that I'm looking forward to in this whole blog post is the actual launch of the game. To be honest, for a COD game, I would say the most unique part of its life cycle is the launch, because all the seasons are generally typically the same. You have your maps, you have your guns, you have your operators, you have your DLC stuff. It's all generally the same, so there isn't really too much to detail here that's quite unique. Obviously, we're going to be having the battle pass and free weapon blueprints, but season 1 is going to be starting December 2nd, so that is about a month after the launch of the game, which is very interesting. And the final thing they mentioned in this blog post is the guns you can actually use now in Warzone. So if you go into Warzone, you can use the STG and M1 Garand. I'm sure you know by now. I need to go ahead and actually level these things up, because it's now double weapon XP. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these off for Vanguard, because I cannot wait to play this game. A week from now, we're actually going to be playing Vanguard, which is just insane to me. I can't wait. The game looks phenomenal in my opinion. The beta felt really good, to be honest. It just feels like a better version of Modern Warfare. That's all this game is. It's just Modern Warfare, but better, which I think is just, that's incredible to me, and I cannot wait for this game to come out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of this game. Are you as excited as I am about it? If you are, let me know why. If not, let me know why. But that's going to do it for today's video. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my Warzone video. It probably won't be as long as this one, but there is still some stuff I want to talk about with that. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you are new around here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.